over there in pit lane. Delighted to be joined now as we keep the racing flowing here at Hampton Downs by Cameron Jones, because the GTRNZ crews are back on track. We have a huge roll-up of cars here this weekend. For people that didn't see the coverage yesterday, you've effectively divided it, haven't you? Classes 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and these are 1 and 2.
Yep, these are the fast boys. It's all divided up by lap time. So we've got GT1 and 2 out there at the moment. As we see in the picture here, we've got a Super Tourer and a Trans Am. Kerry Jones here spent all night up last night, Greg, changing a motor.
Okay.
Fresh NASCAR engine in that car for this morning, so big effort from those guys.
Sweet, can't wait to hear that.
And little man in the Datsun's missing, unfortunately. A few cars have dropped by the wayside there, so this is a full reverse grid race for the GT1 and 2 guys, so the fast boys at the back. They'll fire them off in 3 or 4 different groups. The race has been shortened in this one, unfortunately, because there was a big crash this morning in the GT3 or 4 race.
Yep. Yes. Can we give the audience, I mean, we weren't broadcasting at that stage, we were just about to start the coverage for the day, but for those that follow the class closely and follow you guys on social media, is the driver okay?
Yeah, the driver's okay. They did a safety car, somebody broke an axle or something around the track, so they banked the traffic up a bit and the boys got a bit confused, so when the race restart started, they got tangled up. Unfortunately, he got stuck in the wall at a reasonable high speed and another car hit him, so he shot off to the hospital. He's got a broken arm in a couple of places, I think, and quite a bad laceration on his arm. Apart from that, just a bit bruised and stuff. I think he's talking and conscious and everything, so hopefully he's okay, eh?
Yeah, let's send our thanks to certainly the medical crews here at Hampton Downs as well. Great work by the team. Tradezone GTRNZ 1 and 2. As we look at through the field, Ben Stewart yesterday, great job in that V8 powered Nissan. We probably need to highlight the fact that he's actually in GTR2, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's in Group 2. Yeah, that's right.
So on that basis, with John Midgley winning the race, given that he's in GTR, he actually did a solid job, didn't he? Really good.
He did. With the Trans Am's broken down, a few missing. Beaker had clutch problems and stuff like that yesterday, so couldn't change gears. So John did a stellar job, mate, to come from the back of the grid and win it by quite a margin. Now,
Tradezone, great supporters of this, and am I right in saying that cool MG there got a special kind of connection from a sponsor point of view too, doesn't it?
Yes, it has. He comes from Tradezone, so Marvin's been great for the class.
That's a cool car, mate.
He's built that thing up in the shed, obviously, so he fits into the class well and truly. So yeah, he's brought the support to us for the last 8 or 9 years or so. So Tradezone's been a fantastic backer of ours. Hopefully all the boys shop there. I don't know if it's a race car performance shop, but it gives you all the spanners and the tools to fix the things.
And that is like an MG on steroids, mate, isn't it? So
there's two turbochargers under that bonnet too.
Love it. Here we go, racing, and the goal here, we're scheduled for 6 laps. As you can see, it's kind of staggered or a handicap start, is that we'll get to something at the end where those faster cars that you've beautifully described, like John Midgley off the back, will be in the mix come the final lap or so.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. If the maths is right, we should see all of them coming down the straight on the last lap together.
You really don't. I mean, for viewers watching at home, there is something for everybody here. Look at this, Mitsubishi Evos with overgrown kits that you are well beyond rally spec, my friend, aren't they? So.
They certainly are. As we see the rest of the boys take off here, we've got a V8 RX-7, a twin-turbo V8 MG and an Evo. Simon Browery in a way in a traditional RX-7 that's actually got the right motor in it. One of the few cars.
Crazy. Hyundai to the Hyundai, as you say here in New Zealand, to the left of your screen, which has kind of got a Super Tourer-esque feel about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a base chassis of a Super Tourer, so unfortunately those boys missed just out of when the season finished. So cool to see it out of the track doing the Enduros, come and have a skid with us as well. Very fast car. I don't think it's got the Super Tourer motor in it.
No, I don't think so either. Waiting for the last of them. There's Midgley to the left of your screen.
So the race should be on, Greg, between these two guys. Kerry Jones with his fresh engine. We know he's got about the same pace as Midgley has. I don't think Midgley's got 800 horse under the bonnet, though.
Okay. Mitchley's a guy that, and that Falcon, you will have seen competing in things like the South Island Endurance Championship over time, or North Island as well. So great that he's come and is competing with you guys here. And the simplicity of what you have created with this series is remarkable, because in most motor racing, it's a rule book as big as your left arm. You've minimised all of that, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I think we only need about 3 or 4 bits of paper to print everything out, so a bit of safety. The main thing is it's got to be based off a production car, and as you can see here, these all look like something we drove on the road eventually at one point in time.
But you can throw whatever you like at it, effectively, can't you?
Exactly. If you've got an Evo Lancer and you want to make it rear-wheel drive and put an LS V8 in the front of it, you can fill your boots.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Okay. So, the net result is we don't end up with a scenario where you need an army of tech checkers either, do you? Because
no, we don't.
You know, get on with it, basically.
Very, very simple.
The levelling of the field is done by the lap times, as you've rightly described before. So, watch the greatest amount of work in this race is going to be our timing on the left of your screen, because that will change a lot as this one unfolds.
And these boys will be trying to get it on pretty quickly at the start here. Obviously, our race has been pulled back to 6 laps to catch some time up here with the accident this morning. So as you see there, the power of the MG passing the Evo down the straight. I think he had a few dramas yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see if he's got a bit more pace today, Greg.
Marvin Towers in that 112 in the background. Looked like just under brakes that the bodywork was maybe puffing on the tyres. A little bit of a flash of flame on the downshift as well. So things are getting busy up in front here at the moment. Just keep an eye on those working their way through the field. We need to just bear in mind where Midgley is, and still some work to do there with less than 5 to go.
Definitely. You see Simon Barry there in the Mitre 10 RX-7. He forgot to turn the boost up yesterday. So whether these two can catch him or not, Kerry Jones will be going, have I got the pace? Do I need to be gentle on the new motor, or can we give it to it straight away?
That's a mistake you won't make twice, failing to turn up the boost.
No, definitely not.
Midgley's hustling here. You can see just by the behaviour of the car. Let's listen. '84 Mega
NASCAR pedal shift 6-speed Hollinger in it. As you can see, he's chucked a big wing on the boot, turned it into a monster.
Happy days. Did Kerry have that engine rather here at the track, or they had to go and get it and bring it down?
I think they shot over to the garages and pulled it out, chucked it in the ute shop somewhere into Auckland where a spare one was, swapped it all over, got back here. We left the track about 7:30 last night and they were towing it back in, ready to go.
Fantastic.
So as we can see here, Greg, the field's starting to bunch up. Obviously, the race has been shortened to 6 laps. 4 laps to go. Getting closer.
Sure is. Let's wander through a couple of the cars in this field. I mean, everything here from Nissans to Ford Falcons. We've discussed the Hyundai already, haven't we? So...
And Shane Whitley there in his home boot touring car. That's not actually, I don't think that's an original car. I think they've built that up from scratch. Unfortunately for him, he was at Pukekohe not long ago, and the wing come off as he come over the mountain. Wow. So the car pretty much got destroyed completely.
That'll get your attention.
Yeah, so a year later, as you can see, they've done a good job. She looks brand new again.
Sure does. People can find you guys on social media, and you've got a website as well. If you're a lover of cars and you want to build up a little something, a home special in the garage, this is a great place to come and play, isn't it?
Yeah, if you Google search GTRNZ.co.nz or just GTRNZ, you'll come up our Facebook pages and the web page. So jump on there, check out the rules. There's a bit of history there of past champions and who's won the class and who's raced in it. Obviously, if you don't know, phone number's there, give us a yell. We'll give you a bit of guidance to get here and have a crack.
Fantastic. You're heavily involved in it and have done some driving over time, and you quite enjoy the engineering and build side too, don't you?
Yeah, we help a few boys out in the class. We haven't raced in the class for a couple of years now. The Trans Am's been sitting in the shed in bits since COVID with business and stuff like that. So we've actually got a car lined up to do the last round with them at Manfield, Greg.
Fantastic.
So you might have to do the commentary in the car. I can talk to you in the car.
Happy days, happy days. Cameron Jones with us in the commentary from Palmerston North, so Manfield just up the road from home for you. We look forward to seeing that in action. You should be behind the wheel, but it's you good people at home benefiting from the coverage. And listen to that unmistakable sound of the turbo as we drift back from our race leader to the chasing pack here.
So these boys have been bunched up for a while, so clearly very similar lap times in this group of cars. So some of the best ways to get through is to use the traffic to your advantage through the tight windy bits to catch them back up.
Do you have, when racing, here he goes down the inside and we'll get it done nicely.
This must be running there very low. There's a lot of smoke coming off the tyres on the guards and grinding. I think it's even got wooden splitters on that one, so it hasn't gone down the carbon fibre. It's just got plywood painted up black and you're away you go. So a bit of Kiwi ingenuity on the MG.
Love it. You could not get a greater demonstration of the term variety. Look at everything that you've got, front-wheel drive Hondas and all sorts here.
Very different speeds too, as you see the little Honda round the outside of the BMW, up the inside of the RX-7. very, very well presented car. If you go down and look at the pits of that, that could go on a car show. The guys just built it up at home, and an absolutely beautiful car.
Some of them look like they've mucked around with driving position in the car as well, where you're seated and so on.
Yeah, some move them inwards a little bit and backwards. We used to race on Thailand years ago, mate. We actually saw an Evo Lancer over there with the seat mounted in the middle. So I haven't quite seen that in New Zealand yet. But
Single-seater approach to tin-top racing.
So here we go, Greg. They're all getting bunched up now. So 3 laps to go. We haven't seen the fast boys in the back of the picture yet.
No.
So it could be anybody's race at this point.
But look at the lap time. So Midgley, it says 22 seconds off the marker. But that next group, not all that far in front of him. So he is getting closer. But time, as you rightly say, Cam, is running out. So we drift back through the field. 84 coming through.
So Kerry Jones has actually left Midgley behind a little bit here, Greg. I wonder if he got stuck in the traffic around the last corner. So now we'll see the NASCAR power of the Trans Am down the straight, unless the 800 horse.
Yeah, Midgley's right. Can we see that? There it is there. There it is there now.
Yep.
On the approach, getting closer to the Hyundai there. So traffic, as you rightly say, may have been the reason for that one. That'll hamper him in the 1.5 laps to go.
Definitely, you can be in the lead in this race, catch some back markers. If they're 3 or 4 wide, they have in their own race, and you pick the wrong side, you can be 0 to hero pretty quickly.
Most definitely. So Kerry Jones has made it to the top 10. So into the top 10, here he comes. All that power from the NASCAR engine comes into play.
Just throws it up the inside of the RX-7 there. As you can see, the superior grip from a space frame car to a production-based chassis car.
He is going to get up into 4th place here. Marvin Towers holds that at the moment in the 112. You can see at the front of this queue. So Jones is going to pick up a heap of spots here. But then it's a question of the gap to those in front. There you go. There is the lead. So this is potentially doable. It's going to be a frantic final lap if that's the case.
And here comes Simon Barry. So his RX-7's good for 600 horsepower. So he should be able to peel these guys down the straight, up the inside. And here they go side by side. An older Mazda versus a newer Mazda.
They looked left and right of the poor little Evo, which was just sort of in their gun sights, wasn't it? But they got it done out of that final corner. And these two need to get on with it, don't they?
And Brendan McGovern here in the lead, our first round with us in GTRNZ, and he'll be really determined to win this race.
Cool story. Newcomer to the sport. There's the danger man in the background. What can Jones do? Position 4 in this race, but with a huge amount of horsepower available under the right foot.
And Simon Barry's done it. He's got him under brakes. Is Brendan going to get him back? No, a bit of a blow of flames from the Mazda. And Simon Barry, you could mid-track it here. Keep it nice and straight and go for the win.
They're going for glory, but the skirmish might hold them up in lap time terms. Here's Jones eyeing up 3rd place now. Prodrill Corvette is closing on 3rd place in this race from the very back of the grid.
I don't think he'll do it, Greg.
You don't?
I've got to fly my Mazda flag, I think. Around the outside.
Goes around the outside. That's for 3rd place.
He's given everything he can.
Midgley in the background, you can see, but still with a couple of spots to make. Hyundai goes round, but no harm, no foul. All okay. It would seem that it's going to be just in the way the traffic has played out, and maybe with the timings, the handicapping, that it'll be too far for Jones. He'll get to 3rd, which is good. McGovern and Barry look like going 1 and 2 here, but it's Barry in the 155, I think, with the upper hand.
And this is the good thing about the class. If these reverse grid races, so many different winners and so many people can win these races.
Awesome stuff. Race 2 of the weekend for GTRNZ, and it's a pair of Mazdas that will cross the line. Simon Barry from Brendan McGovern. Kerry Jones gets home in 3rd.
Andy Duffin in 4th, and Midgley just up the inside. I don't think he got him, so traffic caused him to fall behind big time in that one.
Oh, wow. You revisit the times after a race like that. we are compounded here, but I mean, because we've got a shortened race program that we're endeavouring to catch up on. So that is probably a factor too, isn't it? So
definitely, yeah, we did just shorten the laps, but we did bring the times back to match. So we worked the times out on the number of laps. So
cool.
Great for Simon and his Mitre 10 RX-7 to have the win. I think it might be his first one for GTRNZ actually.
Like
so we're pretty happy.
Like that story. and no doubt that'll be a great topic of conversation in the paddock area a little bit later. Great camaraderie in this class. It is Simon Barry who wins it from Brendan McGovern. Kerry Jones from the very back in the 84 will get to third place in the end. Nice drive by John Mitchell as well. Bit of traffic to contend with, but fifth in the Falcon. Our early race leader ended up finishing in seventh place. He, early away at the line, but actually held on pretty well.
He did. The little Weaver was flying along there. I actually thought he might have had a too big a jump, but as you can see, it's deceiving, isn't it, Greg? They get to lap 4 or 5, and next thing everybody's together.
Awesome stuff. So that is GTRNZ. We'll take a look at some highlights for you very shortly here of their second race of the weekend. Handicap race, and at the start we had this wonderful smorgasbord of cars from all different classes coming through the field. There in the 133 was the youngster Ben Stewart, who was second yesterday and fastest in Class 2.
Definitely. Good race for him this weekend too, and as you can see here, the gaggle of cars heading down there. The order's messed up with the fastest at the back, slowest at the front, so a lot of passing going on, bit of tyre rubbing on the guards here from Marvin Towers. Great racing by these boys too, with the speed difference, no rubbing, nobody's been stuck off the track, so good driving by all of them.
Marvin was in the top 3 early on from Tradezone there, and would end up finishing in the top 10 as the chasing pack closed. Here you go, Evo, BMW, Honda, what do you like? What's your favourite mark? Plenty to pick from here. In the background, look at the blue machine coming through the field. Kerry Jones off the back in the 84 with that NASCAR power available, and hustled through to ultimately finish third. This was the fight for the lead with about 1 to go.
And Midge, I wonder if the Hyundai spun on his own there. There's a couple of gaggle cars behind them.